In July of 2016, a peaceful Lexington, Kentucky neighborhood was shattered by a crime so chilling that even the toughest detectives were left speechless. In a small two-story residence, a 32-year-old pregnant mom, Lisa Holloway, was found brutally murdered in the center of her own kitchen. Her body was slumped over in a pool of blood, her unborn child a victim of the violence that had raged within those walls. The case took an even darker turn when investigators uncovered a twisted web of betrayal, resentment, and a revenge plot that had been brewing for months. At the heart of the tragedy stood three people: Lisa Holloway, a devoted mother, 6 months pregnant with her second child; Ryan Holloway, her 14-year-old son from a previous relationship, who seemed like a quiet, well-adjusted teenager; Mark Holloway, Lisa's husband and stepfather of Ryan, a highly respected community figure and successful businessman. What appeared to be a perfect family from the outside covered up secrets so sinister that when they finally came out, it was too late to prevent the killing. But who was actually responsible for Lisa's murder? A jealous son who watched his mother slip away? A jealous husband who would not be replaced? Or a sinister plot that had been years in the making? Stay with us as we unravel the disturbing true story of the pregnant mother, the son, and the husband's deadly revenge. Lisa Holloway was the kind of woman people instantly admired, warm, nurturing, and deeply devoted to her family. She had worked as a pediatric nurse for nearly a decade, dedicating her life to caring for children. Her 14-year-old son, Ryan, was her whole world. She had brought him up on her own for years, working double shifts to ensure that he had a comfortable existence. In spite of the hardships, they had been extremely close, until Mark came into their lives. Mark Holloway was all Lisa had ever desired: successful, charismatic, and profoundly in love with her. They were married in 2014, and soon they were living in a lovely home in Lexington, beginning what appeared to be a perfect new life. But everyone was not pleased about this new beginning. Ryan, always the man in his mother's life, hated Mark. He viewed him as a threat, a man who had taken his mother's love and attention away from him. The tension between them worsened over time: silent meals, passive-aggressive remarks, and angry fights that Lisa struggled to intervene in. Things came to a head when Lisa told Ryan she was pregnant with Mark's child. Ryan was enraged. He resented being replaced. He informed friends that he despised the baby before birth, making gruesome remarks on how all would be improved if only it would vanish. Lisa believed it was teenage peak. She had no clue that it was something much worse, much worse. As Lisa's pregnancy went on, the tension in the Holloway home came to a boil. Mark, who was once a devoted and doting husband, had begun to drift away. He worked longer hours, returned home late, and was aloof. Lisa, already drained from coping with Ryan's rebellious attitude, was petrified that Mark was losing interest in her. But she wasn't mistaken. Mark was drifting away. Not because he had lost love for her, but because he had uncovered something that broke his world apart. A secret about Ryan. A secret diary. One evening, Mark had entered Ryan's bedroom to get some laundry done when he spotted a little black notebook jammed underneath the bed. Intrigued, he browsed through the pages. What he read there chilled his blood. Ryan had documented graphic fantasies for harming the baby. Sketches of his mom in agony. Somber, awful writings of ensuring that she never forgot who came first. Mark was appalled. He had known Ryan hated being pregnant, but this was something different. He immediately went to Lisa, holding up the diary, pleading with her to take it seriously. But Lisa was not going to believe that her son was capable of doing this kind of evil. She blamed Mark for misinterpreting Ryan, saying he was overprotective and paranoid. But Mark knew better. And from that night on, he made a scary decision. If Lisa would not defend their family, then he would. That evening, July 8, 2016, Lisa came home from work around 8:30 p.m. Ryan was already home, sitting on the couch, his eyes cold and expressionless. Mark was in the garage, waiting. Lisa had hardly set down her bag before she sensed something was wrong. The kitchen lights were low. Ryan was holding something in his hand, something sharp, a knife. And before Lisa could move, he attacked. He stabbed her once, the knife going deep into her side. Lisa screamed. But before Ryan could deliver another blow, a gunshot cracked. Mark had stepped into the room, his face contorted with raw fury. Ryan recoiled, holding his arm where the bullet grazed. Lisa, bleeding profusely, slumped against the counter, gasping. Mark again pointed the gun, his hands firm. Ryan froze. The boy who had spent months planning his mother's murder now stood with the barrel of a gun pointed at him. Mark had made up his mind. But before he could fire, Lisa, with her final shred of strength, clamped her hand around his arm. "Stop," she breathed. The police burst in minutes later. Ryan was taken away, charged with attempted murder. Lisa was taken to the hospital. But no matter how hard the doctors worked, she and the baby were dead. Mark was alone now, his unborn child and wife killed, his stepson a monster, and his revenge left incomplete. Ryan received 25 years behind bars. During court, he expressed no regret. Mark, although celebrated as a hero for attempting to bring him down, was left nevertheless a broken man. The home where the Holloways had once envisioned a blissful future was left standing, a haunting reminder of the atrocities that had taken place within. To this day, the case is one of the most unsettling family massacres in Kentucky history, a tale of betrayal, bitterness, and revenge carried too far. A reminder that sometimes the people we least expect to fear are the people we should fear the most. What do you think of this case? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tune into our next case, where a high school romance becomes a fatal obsession.